All aboard, folks! Have your tickets ready and find your seat. You are on board the Scenic City Rambler, and I'm your conductor, Red Clay. Today our train will be making its way along the tracks of Chattanooga baseball history. Our journey winds its way from high up on Hawks Hill and the red clay fields of Old Engle Stadium to Erlanger Stadium in the shadow of Lookout Mountain. As we rumble along, you'll hear the distant crack of a bat, the cheers rolling like thunder down the Tennessee River, and the echoes of heroes who once wore that famous Lookout's cap. We'll catch a glimpse of the Yankees' Murderers Row, the Chattanooga Black Lookouts of the Negro Leagues, and the hometown heroes, the Chattanooga Lookouts. So sit back, relax, and let the rhythm of the rails take you through the heart of Chattanooga, where every whistle stop calls back another chapter of legend and laughter. We are headed to a place where baseball and history ride the same line. This is Steel Rails and Curveballs, exploring Chattanooga's rich baseball history. Next stop, Memory Lane. Imagine it's 1926, Chattanooga, Tennessee. The air is thick enough to chew, and the dirt at Andrews Field is baked hard as a brick. A kid steps onto the mound. He's tall, he's lanky. Basically a collection of elbows and knees held together by a gray jersey. This is Leroy Page, but the world is about to call him something else. Now, depending on who you ask, he got his nickname because he was a clever kid hauling 4 bags at once at the Mobile train station, looking like a walking satchel tree. Or, if you believe the gossips, he tried to borrow a bag that didn't belong to him. Either way, the name stuck. And in Chattanooga, Satchel Paige didn't just play baseball, he turned it into theater. He was making $50 a month with the Chattanooga Black Lookouts, but he was worth $1 million in pure brass. He'd look at his infielders and wave them off. Go on, he'd say, sit down. And they would, right there in the dirt. Satchel would then stare down the hitter and blow 3 straight strikes past him before the guy could even blink. But history has a funny way of taking the scenic route. 22 years later, the rookie from Chattanooga is 42 years old. It's 1948, and Bill Veeck of the Cleveland Indians decides it's time to finally let the world see what they've been missing. When Satchel steps onto the Major League mound, the critics aren't just skeptical, they're laughing. They call it a carnival act. Well, the joke was on them. Satchel goes 6-1 with a blistering 2.48 ERA. He's so good, so dominant, that he actually gets nominated for Rookie of the Year at 42. The Sporting News was so embarrassed by a grandfather outplaying the kids that they actually apologized for having to consider him for the award. Satchel just smiled. He knew what he was. Fast forward another 20 years. It's 1968. The world has changed. The Negro Leagues are gone. Satchel is, well, he says he's 62. Some folks think he's closer to 70. But he has one problem. He's exactly 150 days short of a major league pension. 19 teams turned him down. They saw an old man. But the Atlanta Braves, they saw a legend who needed a seat at the table. They signed him on August 11th. They gave him jersey number 65, basically a jersey that doubled as a birth certificate. He was a coach, a trainer, and a goodwill ambassador. Now, look at this baseball. Imagine holding a ball signed by Satchel Paige in 1968. You aren't just holding an autograph. You're holding the closing chapter of a 40-year heist. Satchel spent his life stealing the breath out of hitters' lungs, and in '68, he finally stole back the pension the game owed him. From throwing rocks at chickens in Alabama, to the professional dirt in Chattanooga, to the bright lights of Cleveland and Atlanta, he proved that while you might be able to time a fastball, you can't put a clock on a genius. Satchel once said, "Don't look back, something might be gaining on you." In 1968, nothing was gaining on old Satch. He'd already crossed the finish line. Well, this train's slowing down and the sun is setting over the ridge, so I guess that'll do it for this edition of Steel Rails and Curveballs. exploring Chattanooga's rich baseball history. We hope you enjoyed our trip down the baselines and through the box scores of yesteryear. Remember, history isn't just in the books. It's in the dirt of the diamond and the echoes in the stands. Until next time, for the Chattanooga Lookouts baseball team and Society for American Baseball Research historian Ed Ripley, looks like this train has come to a full stop. We hope to see you next time, somewhere down the track.